Welcome to episode 3 of Teachers Have Issues. You're listening to Lana the Educator. First off, thank you for listening and welcome. Whether you're an educator seeking advice, guidance, or a curious learner interested in the dynamics of educator identity, this podcast offers valuable insights and actionable advice. Tune in every week to gain a deeper understanding of the issues teachers face. And subscribe now and join the conversation as we uncover the nuances of educator issues in today's evolving educational landscape. Today's topic is quiet quitting. This is something that many educators are familiar with. It's a phenomenon where employees disengage from their work and workplace without overtly or without explicitly expressing their dissatisfaction. Quiet quitting really means that you're stuck in limbo at work and you are just getting by. You may recognize it by its symptom, burnout, especially if burnout meant emotional and physical exhaustion for you, or simply doing the bare minimum, or working within your pay grade. Many times when educators reach this stage, they've been hanging on for quite a while and they can't or they won't quit, which, we know most people, you need your job. So they look for a temporary band aid and they quiet quit. It's a natural reaction as many come to the realization that it's the easiest way to stop the exhaustion from burning out, to stop overworking. But now, in recent times, quiet quitting is really loud and visible. But it has been happening for a long time as it's been a silent epidemic in the teaching profession. And there's more than enough research covering the issue as it pertains to teaching. It's just that teachers were made to feel ashamed for reacting in a natural manner to conditions that required little to no thanks, to conditions that were based on inadequate resources or poor rewards. And we've been complaining about it for so long with nothing being done to remedy the situation in the majority of cases because, we continue to do so much with so little. So picture this scenario, okay? You work in an environment where slander accompanies projects, where there is gossiping, there's negative comments galore, and all and any ideas are rejected. There is public non-support from colleagues when suggestions are made, and this might be followed by kudos and well done, and I liked your idea after the meeting for the same suggestion of ideas. And you might even have or work in an environment where there is snide and sarcastic remarks when you give feedback in meetings, or you're omitted from emails, or your responsibilities are reduced. You might even get unjustifiable demerits when it's time for appraisals, and this might take place sometimes without prior warning. You know, so then there might be this final straw, some justification that somebody complained about you. So if this sounds like a scenario that you're familiar with, you are not alone. And the thing is, all the while this is going on, all the while you are experiencing this, you continue to put in 100% and still do unpaid overtime work. At some point, you might not remember when you arrived at the idea, but you know it did not come upon you suddenly, and you begin to disengage. You are disengaging from this less than ideal work environment. And while these scenarios I've presented highlights many issues with leadership, with organization and management, you begin to think of your personal responsibilities because, to be fair, quiet quitting may happen for reasons that have nothing to do with burnout and work life balance at all. You know, it may be because of personal reasons or because of lack of career advancement opportunities, which, if we're being honest, is a real thing for teachers. It might be due to uninterest in work, where for people it might be that work is just doing the bare minimum and collecting their paycheck. And we know we have colleagues like that. Don't worry, you're not disillusioned, you're not delusional, and you're not alone. What you're experiencing is really, this is a persistent issue in many modern workplaces, and your response of disengagement is one that every employee faces at some point in their career. And if the reasons I've mentioned to you make you think that quiet quitting is the best way to move forward in your life, and you feel that's the thing for you, then you can do that. But there are some steps you can take to deal with your current situation. I mean, of course, you can bear it, and you probably have been bearing it. You can transfer, you can transfer to a different place, to a different department, a different job for some people. Or you might do what you think is your only option and resign. And many employees have taken this extreme step and resolved to speak with their feet. And it has become such a trend in recent times that this phenomenon came to be called the Great Resignation. And that's a trend that's really characterized by just these large number of employees voluntarily leaving their jobs. And they're doing it because they want a better work life balance, they want better purpose, they want improved job satisfaction. And it really, when you think about it, represents workers just feeling empowered to quit their jobs that they find unsatisfactory. And that's a feeling that many teachers have or will have at some point throughout their career. But for many educators, it's not that easy to quit because we've dedicated our lives to this. We've studied all our lives, or we've studied, this is the career we've chosen. We've studied to do this. Now, I just want to be clear, while you're entitled to reevaluate your priorities, you, of course, are entitled to prioritize your well being. I am not advising you to resign from your job, right? What you're working through is really reevaluating your relationship with work. Just look at it like that, as reevaluating your relationship with work. You're not burnt out, you're not lazy. You've just arrived at two strategies, and these two strategies are there. You've arrived here because you're looking at it as correcting just this imbalanced relationship with your work and with your employer, right? So, as you well know, many teachers are high achievers. So, quiet quitting will not be a long term solution for them. It will not be a long term solution for you either. If high achievers start feeling discontented, then quiet quitting really just creates more stress because it is not who they know themselves to be, it's not who they are, and it really becomes way more stressful because they still feel pressured to produce good work. So, what's the possible solution? Well, my advice is don't quiet quit. First, you can try to speak up. Speaking up, especially doing speaking up early on, really creates an open communication and a more transparent and understanding work environment. And you might be saying, well, that won't work in my workplace, they won't listen to me, they won't do that here, that's not how they operate here, I'm fed up of them. But speaking up really gives you the opportunity to communicate the issues affecting your job satisfaction and well-being, and it can really stave off negatively affecting your development as a teacher, as an educator, and even as an employee. Remember, your reputation follows you throughout your career. So you don't want to build up a reputation of being a quitter. So don't quit. You can try to reevaluate, try to adapt. Another way to tackle this feeling or movement to quiet quitting is to try to be part of creating an effortless work culture. And what that means is that you really start to get in the flow, when you get in the groove. Every real teacher knows how to do this. It's when you get in the zone, when you're engaged, when everything is flowing, when you feel driven, when you really feel that you're doing what you love, and it starts to not feel like work anymore. You know this feeling. And if you've forgotten what it feels like, you need to seek out people like this. They are around you in the workplace. It's usually the part of the room or the staff room that you hear the laughter coming from, right? It's not laughing at you, it's people enjoying what they're doing. And this is really the start of creating a positive work culture. You might actually have to be the one to start doing it, really. And people might find you annoying at first, but you'll really wear them down for the better eventually. The question of quiet quitting will really start to fade away in your mind, and you'll really become one of those people who feel fine to get up every morning to do a job you love and be able to say, I chose this and I love this. I am not going to quiet quit. Thank you for listening. This has been Lana the Educator. Remember, you empower minds, you ignite curiosity. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Thank you.